Hello, Mary Me. Today I want to discuss a topic that really annoys me, and that is how much bullying Norwegian Princess Martha Louise gets because of her religious views. Now, for those that don't know who this woman is, she's a Norwegian princess. She's a daughter of a current king, and she's a New Ager, an occultist. She believes in angels and spiritual healing, and she, together with a woman named Elizabeth Samay, she runs basically a school for these things named Astarte Education. Now, here's the system in Norway. First, before I start, let me say that I'm definitely not a royalist. I believe that having a royal family for a modern democratic nation is a shame and it should be removed immediately. I feel that to have in a democracy, having a family that's supposed to stand above everybody else is wrong. That is not elected is wrong. And while the king has absolutely no power, the symbol of it that we just had election and that the representatives that we the people elected have to stand there and bow and courtesy before somebody has basically just gotten their position because they were born to it, and he has to officially approve them. Of course, he can't not approve them because, yeah, he doesn't have the power to do that, but they have to officially go through the ritual. I feel that having that just invalidates our democracy. And the saying that it's wrong that this family doesn't have the right to vote. They don't have the right. The sitting monarch doesn't have the right to have his own, his or hers. They don't have say in political forces, and they don't have the right to choose their own religion. They have to choose Protestant Christianity. And yes, the children brought up in it. It's just a travesty. However, when that is said, it's not their fault what they are born into, and they should be treated as individuals. And here's the thing. There are several groups that criticize Martha Louise for her choices. One is, of course, the atheists, those that say it's so horrible that somebody so highly populated has these beliefs. Yeah, but she has the right to do so. She's a citizen of Norway. Norway have the right to choose their own religion. And while it's a terrible travesty that her father can't choose his, that he officially has to be a member and actually the highest leader in Norway of the Protestant Church, she uh, doesn't have those limitations on her. And here's another thing: people scream up that she does this, and she also writes fairy tale books for children and such things. Yeah, but she doesn't get a stipend from Norway. Unlike, for example, England, where everybody who has a drop of royal blood gets millions from the state, Norway doesn't work like that. The only ones that get the stipends are the sitting king and queen and their direct descendants, basically the ones that's going to inherit the throne. Now, Martha Louise, she has the title princess, but that's all she has. She can vote, she can comment political use, she can work, she can have a career. Because she's just a citizen of Norway. Yes, just like somebody can write Doctor so and so before the name, she can write Princess so and so, which is sure to impress the little girls. But that's it. She has the right to have whatever religion she wants, and if she wants to make a business out of her religious and spiritual beliefs, she has as much right to do so as you have to not believe in anything. So yeah, and I mean they have said that she should be locked up in mental hospitals and all sort of horrible things. That she shouldn't be allowed to raise her three children and all that because she has a religious belief that goes outside of the norm. And it's appalling. She's a human being. And she is a nice, kind human being who does what she does to help others. Now, you may believe that what she does isn't effective, but there's no harm in it. Now, there was some, like this big media storm, it just went boom! Because there was, I don't remember which tragedy there was. There was earthquake, basically, but I don't remember exactly where it was. Anyway, uh, and she had said in an interview, she does give a lot of money to charity, but that she also would pray that the angels would come and help the survivors. And there was, oh, it's so horrible that you say this. She says this in the best possible way. If you don't believe in anything, then just see it as she wishes the survivors well. Why are you completely flipping out on it? No, of course. The second group that attack her is of course the Christians, who feel that it's completely unacceptable that she has a sort of New Ageified version of Christianity. She do consider herself a Christian, but she also does magic, she communicates with angels, she does healing, and she runs a New Age academy. She's our little local Hogwarts uh, headmaster. And, well, sad day for you that she doesn't choose your religious faith, but she has the right to choose whatever faith she wants. And the travesty here isn't that she chooses another religion than you. The travesty is that her father and her brother can't. Now, I mean, the king and the queen and all of those might be completely happy and content as Protestant Christians. I don't know the people, but it's a travesty that they can't choose, that they cannot officially choose. Martha Louise, however, who does no longer have the title Her Royal Highness. She just have the title Princess. She's no longer a Royal Highness. She can choose anything she wants. And we have religious freedom. So yes, of course, you can argue that these angels, that people that basically the New Age angels, as I like to call them. And I don't mean that in any derogatory term. I believe in them as well and do practice communication with them. But anyway, and as does my mother. However, the New Age angels, for a lack of a better term, you can argue that they doesn't fit in with Christianity, that they are not Christian deities. You can argue all of that if you do it in a polite way, but to attack her, viciously attack her, that's wrong. Now, the third group that attack her is other occultists who, yeah, feel that she isn't good enough to hold classes and run a New Age academy, and they also feel that she exploits her title. And to a certain degree, I agree with them here. So one thing that do annoy me is that, for example, Elizabeth Samai is what I know of her a better. She's better at what I do, but her name is always written after Martha Louise's, and that isn't because Martha Louise is sort of feel herself is better. It's because she's a celebrity. They earn money by putting her on a pedestal, but that she always signs it with princess. Princess is a title, and that has nothing to do with what she's doing. And this is a thing that I have expressed annoyment over. It's the only thing that I will criticize her on when it comes to her spiritual practices. And like I've said to others before, it is a little bit like if somebody who has a PhD in astrophysics decides to write a book about golfing. And he says Professor PhD blah 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 before his name. Yeah, but it doesn't have anything to do with golfing or knitting or whatever it is he's writing the book about. And then he just sort of misuses his title to make the book sell more. And I have the princesses books, and they're okay. But I mean, they're nothing like Dorian Valentine's books and so on and so forth. But they sell like hot bread. And I think that some of the reason that because it's written by a princess, we still have that mystique. We can hear the Disney music in the background. And I feel that I would have respected her more as a fellow occultist if she had just used Martha Louise and not Princess. Because then I feel that she sort of tries to milk her title and social status instead of letting her skill and knowledge carry her. But I mean, you can present that criticism in a polite way. You don't have to bash her and bash her and bash her. And I mean, every time she says something, it ends up on the front pages, and people say that she's insane. They say all sorts of cruel, horrible things. And I'm just fed up about it. And that's why I'm making this video and making this rant. This is a woman that is a good mother, a loving wife. She practices something that she thinks helps people, that she feels is for the betterment of everybody, and she offers classes in this. And when it comes to those classes, she's actually right smack in the middle of the price range when it comes to all sort of occult classes in Norway. You can find a lot of cheaper classes, you can find a lot of more expensive classes, and she could have taken a ton of money, and a lot of people who just want to talk with royalty would have paid, but she doesn't. And to me, that really indicates that she really, really believes in what she does, and she should be commended from that. And the point is this: I think it's wrong to try to intimidate her, to try to attack her, to try to make her feel bad about herself and her religious choice. It's not her fault that she is born into the royal family. Now, do I think she tries to milk her title? Yes. But I mean, this is something that we can discuss without resorting to political, to personal attacks. Now, what I think about her system, the starter system, it's okay. Like I said, I prefer Dorian Valentine's system. It's more for her. I think that Martha Louise's system will be better for beginners because it's very simple, it's very down to earth, it's very straight into it. So if I were going to recommend an angel communication system and an angel-based healing system to somebody who has some experience within New Age and within the occult, I would recommend Dorian Valentine hands down every time. If I were going to recommend something to somebody who is a complete beginner, I would recommend Martha Louise's system. As of yet, I don't think her books are in English, but I could be wrong there. But if you just search on her name, you should be able to find her books pretty easily. Like I said, is she good? I haven't personally seen her work. I've read her books, and they seem okay if a bit simplistic. But what I'm really discussing here is stop bashing her. If you have criticism about her religious practice, her use of her title, and so on, by all means voice those criticisms, but there's a way to voice them. I voiced my criticisms in this very video, but I won't just call her names, call her insane, that she should be locked up, that her father tried to stop her from her religious practice. The fuck is this? 1735? Her father has nothing to do with her religious practice. And one point to the king. he says, "Yay, I'm so proud of my daughter and her religious practice. Go, go, go." Amazing. But I mean, I'm sort of proud of this princess. I mean, sure, I wish we didn't have royalty at all. When we first gonna have royalty, I do think that a princess that runs an occult school and names her daughter after a Star Wars character and is an open New Age and magic practitioner is awesome. I mean, if we're first gonna have royalty, let's have some of those. So my point is, yes, if you disagree with her politely. Don't. I mean, all the shit that is said about her in the media and in comments field and so on, that's online bullying. And online bullying isn't any nicer if it's done towards somebody's famous. Of course, do I think her books get a bit more attention than they should? Yeah, because they are mediocre, they're okay. But it's like, let's say Madonna were to write a book about the Kabbalah. Or if Miley Cyrus decided to be an occultist and write about Telema, their books would get a lot of attention. A lot of people would buy them just because they were written by this famous individual. That doesn't create a reason to attack the author, because it's not their fault fame works the way it does. It's unfortunate. I wish that basically that fame, appearance, all of those uh, things that is just on the surface wouldn't matter at all when it comes to occult books or any scholarly work, that it would just be the quality of the work that mattered. That's what I wish, but the world isn't like that. And attacking the people that benefit from it doesn't help. Attack that it is the way it is, by all means, but don't attack the people that benefits from fame like that. It's a little bit like I always say when people say, I wish Justin Bieber died. I'm definitely not a Justin Bieber fan. It's not my cup of tea. It's not the kind of music I like. But I say, why? Why do you want death on this kid? He's a child. Now, would I wish that people who have actually talent would more often get uh, a huge musical career than somebody who just happened to have look and ended up being trendy just there and then? Yeah, but attacking this kid and wishing death on him doesn't help. And it's the same with this princess. Would I wish that a more skilled angel communicator would get more attention? Yeah, but attacking her doesn't change that. Yes, she benefits from her fame factor, but that isn't her fault, it's just how the world works. So, yeah, I have to admit that I bought her books partly because of all the bullying, because I wanted to support her and say, I don't like this kind of bullying. I mean, criticize her, by all means, criticize away. But don't call her insane, don't call her ugly, say that she should be locked up, that she's a bad mother. Don't say all of those things, because that's bullying. It has nothing to do with whatever or not she's right in her claims that she can communicate with angels. It has nothing to do with her religious practice. It has nothing to do with the school she runs. Why can't we just keep it civil? So yeah, that's my opinion on that. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Have a great day. Blessed be.